We can get them in the slot. That's the bottle thing. Yeah, get back. Yes. Okay. Gotta get this. Okay, hi. Okay, I can't believe the goat kids got out again. I can't believe they went all the way to the back of the barn. They must have came out the front and then made their way at some point today to the back. And I did hear them yelling. The one that I bottle fed is really loud, and I thought, oh, it doesn't sound like he's in the barn, but I'm like, there's no way they can get out. Yeah, so I think the pen, the board was loose and they squeezed their way through and then went out all the way around. So it's easier to bring in mums. Mums will follow me with feed. Goat kids are crazy. So thankfully I could pry that big gate open just enough that they could squeeze in and get to an area that's familiar to them. And now I have them in the other way and into their pen again, hopefully safely secured and not getting out. So phew, I'm glad they did not go anywhere else on my property. But yeah, not a great start to my week. The other thing is this morning we pulled the foot valve out of the pond to make sure it wasn't clogged, because my pump is still overheating and shutting down, and I'm not sure what's exactly wrong. So the foot valve looked fine. I hooked it up a little bit easier so I can pull it in and out if I need to again. Yeah, we also scratched, I don't even know what, use a nail file to scratch a little point off on the side of the pump. If you know anything about pumps, that would make sense to you. I don't even know what it's called. We did that. We pulled out some spider nests that were inside that electrical area. Yeah, so maybe it's some sort of electrical problem that I don't know. So I'm just running with 3 sprinklers right now. So the pump's shutting on and off, but at least it doesn't overheat. It's probably not ideal, but it has not rained. It's not going to rain this week. It is still hot. So I need to get as much water on the field as possible. So 3 sprinkler systems it is. Goats secured. Hopefully the rest of the week goes better. So Bob brought me a bale of straw. I actually have 4 more in the dry shed. I've had them for a few years, and I asked to keep them the last time we baled. Actually, it was 2 times ago that we had weed on the field over there. The neighbors baled up the straw and we kept some bales. So I used it to mulch pathways the year, like probably 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. And then these bales have just been sitting there. But I realized, especially on a dry year like this, mulch is amazing for conserving water in the soil. But it's also, I'm just tired of weeding. Okay, frankly, I'm just tired, but I'm really tired of weeding. And so we weeded the dahlias, and I really don't want to weed them again this year. So I have been using grass clippings. I started using that last year, trying it out on a few rows, and I loved it. I didn't see any problem with it. So this year, any grass clippings that my son has brought me, he has a lawn care business, so anytime he has some, he puts it on a tarp and he either leaves it in front of me by the dry shed there, or if he has a really big load, he brings it back to the field here and I spread it out wherever I can. So I love it. It keeps the weeds down. The soil underneath of it, like it's breaking down my clay clumps, and it's just really beautiful. So I'm actually surprised how fast it breaks down and disappears. The stuff I put on this spring, you can almost not see it anymore. So I know straw will take longer to break down. Probably depends on how thick I put it down. And the straw probably has weed seed. The grass clippings are coming from lawns that have no weeds. So I am probably adding weed seeds to my bed. But at this point, I don't care. It's not going to rain. I need to keep as much moisture in my field as possible. I'm really tired of weeding. So I just want to get all the rest of the dahlias mulched with straw, and then I'll see where else I put it. Okay, so I hope this isn't a big job. My plan is to use the tarps to move the straw around. So Bob actually came back because he said we should put a tarp underneath the bale, and then we can hopefully, when the bale's half gone, maybe just pull that somewhere else in the field. Yeah, last time I did this, I used half the bale and then the other half sat for like a year in my field. And I don't want that to happen again. So check in with me next week to see if we distributed all the straw somewhere in my field. So I know I said I'm tired. I think if you talk to me any August, especially the beginning of August, I think I'm just tired. I think partly because it's the middle of the season. It's been a couple months of growing and we still have a couple months ahead. I think it's always a time too when I realize some of my plants aren't going to happen, or some of the flowers I had hoped to have this year, they're just either not growing well or something happened. So yeah, it's usually a time that a month where I have to just shift gears, and that actually gives me a new energy boost because I'm starting to think about next year, and I love what I'm doing and I'm excited to try some other things out. So, but I can't forget about this year, which is why at the beginning of the week I put on some green lacewing eggs. I with these earlier dahlias that I overwintered, I have a ton of bug problem in there, so I think I need to do a little bit of research how to fix that for next year if I can get some to overwinter again. But these are just a good general predator. I've never done this before, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I have green lacewings in my field already, but I just wanted some more. They come on, they call strings, but they're like kind of these jute squares. And then the eggs are like, the way that they're laid, that they're kind of like on this thread thing with the egg at the end. And those are attached to these jute strings. So I hung them around my field, mainly by the white dahlias and into the lisianthus. I put a patch too. So they are supposed to take care of aphids, thrips. I think I read that they do leaf hoppers, and I have a lot of leaf hoppers in my field. So we'll see if that helps. I also sprayed the dahlias with compost tea again this week. So I've been doing that every week, and yeah, a lot of water. So I think they're actually starting to green up and really starting to kick in, which is super exciting because once they go, and if we can get the bugs out here helping, we could have a lot of dahlia blooms, which always, yeah, I just love that. So yeah, it's been a good week. I don't usually have this, but I had both my daughters helping me prep for market, which made market prep way more enjoyable because I don't love making bouquets. I'd much rather be out here. So I made the sunflower bunches. They did a good portion of the bouquets, and then I finished up. So we were done in record time. Market sales were great. There was beautiful weather. It was like just a great summer day with it not being high humidity. So a lot of people came. It was just a comfortable day to be at market. And I brought another order to the collective. I have to say a highlight for me this year is I put in a bunch of delphinium. And I've tried delphinium in the past with not much success, but now that I feel like that my soil is getting better, I'm able to weed them better and take better care of them, and I love them. I have already seeded some more for next year because I think it's going to become one of my top 5 things to grow, and the designers have been buying every stem I can get out of the field. So that has definitely been a highlight for me this year. But other than that, this week I find I always feel better if I tidy up the field. So we tried to clean up some things that were just didn't need to be out here anymore. And even though it hasn't rained, my son whipped over with, everything with a lawnmower. It was green on the edge of my beds because that's where I've been watering. But it just feels tidier out here, and then I just feel a little bit calmer and more relaxed. So yeah, it's just a nice space to be. It's nice when things are greening up and growing around me. So yeah, I hope you had a great week. Thanks for being here and hitting the like button. Bob also set up memberships. I know some of you have asked if you can support me somehow in making these videos. So only if you're able, you can, I'm not offering anything in my memberships, but you can go over there and click the button and send me a little boost to help keep making these videos. So thanks again for being here, and I'll see you again next time.